Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Here is the sunrise, the start of it. You see all this? It's mist coming up off the field because it's 55 degrees. It's going to be a warm day. Yeah, so we'll see what the sun does this morning. We will see what it does. I've been up for a little bit. You know, you don't just wake up and hit the dirt road. You gotta get up and go to the bathroom, and get yourself dressed. Although I slept in my exercise clothes last night because I got started on a project last night about 10 o'clock and it took me 2 hours to finish it. But tired. But I'm up because, this has been a habit and a routine of mine. And I will take a nap later. I will. So I will take a nap later. Oh, it feels weird not to have my headphones in. It does. I am working with a new microphone and I am hoping that it is working. Because if it is not, this video will be worthless to me. Let me make sure it's on. Okay. It is. I think I got it figured out. Oh. I got nothing today. I got nothing to talk about today. I don't. Is that weird? That's really weird. I wish you guys were here because then I could talk about what you want to talk about. I don't really know what that is. You know what? Let's talk about food. You're like, that's a very broad topic. And now that I suggested it, I'm thinking, yes, it is. Not sure where I want to begin. Okay, so usually I come on here with some sense of what I want to discuss, but I think what came to my mind was a comment that was made to me because I've been posting a lot of pictures about my food lately. I've been posting a lot of pictures of food, although I didn't really post last night's dinner. I'm a little bit behind. I got some other things going on I'm trying to get ready for, and I just got behind yesterday. Okay, so I've been posting a lot of pictures of food, and somebody made a comment that this looks it's not too complicated, or maybe something like that. Maybe some people are thinking your food's way too complicated. It's just because it looks pretty on the plate. It's not complicated. Because I don't want to eat complicated food. Because I don't have time for complicated food. Because I don't know how to make complicated food. In fact, if a recipe has, say, more than 7 ingredients on the list, unless most of them are spices, I get way overwhelmed. Feel very inadequate. And, that reminded me of what I really wanted to talk about that I said I'd talk about yesterday and I forgot because I'm a little scatterbrained today because, 5 hours of sleep. I don't know if you can hear what is going on in the world around me, but it is like gobble gobble, turkey turkey, craziness going on in my woods. So if you hear that, that's what's going on. That is what's going on. Okay. So the food, I like things simple. I don't want things to be complicated. I didn't have a lot of experience as a youth, like practicing to cook. I lived in a household with a full-time mom. Of course, I stopped talking and they stopped talking. I really wanted you to hear them because it's really cool. We've got wild turkeys. And they're making some really... Can you hear that? I don't know. If I didn't know what it was, I would be like, hightailing it back home. But I know. So, turkeys. Okay, back to food. I lived with in a home with a full-time mom. My dad worked. We had a picky eater in our family, which caused us to, not picky, but just limited range eater. Limited range. And so we just didn't grow up with like a lot of cooking experience. I didn't. So I've muddled my way through following directions is basically what I've done. We're not missing anything in the sky here. You look at this tired mug. So I'm sorry. You want to look at that instead? That's much prettier. Should I just walk? And we can just look at the field? Note to you, I am not taking the shortcut through the woods today. I don't know, it's like mating season going on out there, so we're just going to let them be. They got a room. It's called the woods. They could stay in it. Okay. So I have to keep things simple for the sake of like my sanity. But I like pretty things, so I just think about how could it look on the plate. I don't slop it on. I just lay it on there, make sure it's balanced. There's a little bit of color. That's all. Last night, this is what we had. Okay, I'm going to tell you what we had. I'm going to turn now because I don't want to talk in front of my neighbors. Oh, natural sunlight. Whew. I woke up like this. I ran out the door and realized I didn't have my glasses. I didn't have my hat. So I went in, I found my glasses, couldn't find my hat. Don't know where it went. And I thought, oh, no hat. Better look at my hair. Good thing I did, because we had worship services last night, and I had like teased the back and like lifted it up just a little bit with a headband, just a small headband, to make it look like I tried. Well, I did try. I didn't have to fake it. I did try to tease it. My hair doesn't hold the tease very well. And I woke up this morning, it was all kinds of mess. So we had to fix that. Okay. So last night's dinner, this is what we had. Shake and bake chicken. Okay. So simple. Today you're going to see it in my lunch because I'm going to throw it in the air fryer to crisp it back up. Because if I microwave it, it's just soggy. So I'm going to shake and bake chicken. I'm going to have that today for lunch in a boneless buffalo wing wrap. I'm going to share it with you too. Obviously not the food. That's ridiculous, Tamara. I meant the recipe. Silly woman. Okay. But I did think that. Like, that's probably what they think I meant. That's not what I meant. Okay. So food, so that I had to say shake and bake chicken. Canned green beans. Yes, I did. And a box of 5-minute couscous. Well, I didn't eat the whole box. I had a half of a cup for 2 smart points. But that's what I had. And other than like having to prep the chicken, which I had already prepped and thawed, or frozen and then thawed, I buy chicken breasts and I cut them up, or Kevin cuts them up because I don't really like to touch raw meat. I buy the big ones in the family pack and then I split them for us and we freeze them, or I grind them. I have been making ground chicken. Yes. I have a meat grinder for my KitchenAid. I do. And I think I don't know. I don't know how much the KitchenAid one is. I have like an off-brand one from Amazon. I've been so happy with it because I've been having trouble finding ground chicken in the store. Well, you know, because apparently everybody thinks they have to have chicken. So I've been having trouble. I score it once in a while. And I'm happy about it when they have it in stock at Walmart. Sometimes they have it in at Aldi. So we eat a lot of chicken. So we get it, and what we do is with those really ginormous chicken breasts, we butterfly those. And that is a serving, because usually they're about 8 ounces and half's about 4. Or I'll just take it and I'll grind it. Because like ground chicken can cost like $4 a pound. Not in my house. Not anymore, not since getting the meat grinder, which I videoed a little like show you how to use the meat grinder video. I just haven't edited it yet. Oh, so anyway, you might see that in the coming days. So, okay. So food, so I keep it simple. I really do. I may make one dish that seems complicated or that requires effort, but usually either the meat is easy and the sides are more complicated, or the meat is like the hardest part of the dish. Or I do a lot of casseroles. Not anymore. Sometimes. I don't know. What have I been eating? Anyway, we love salmon. We had salmon the other night. I love salmon, and I was afraid of salmon. Are you afraid of fish? Are you afraid of cooking and preparing fish? I was. Until like last year. And I'm like, come here, here's fish. I think it was because I always felt like fish was expensive. I did. I always felt like fish was expensive. But it's good. So, and Kevin doesn't fish. Although I have to tell you a funny story. So I think if you're new here, you haven't seen it, but I may have shared the little pond that's on our property, like the wetlandy lagoon area. And we had beavers in it. Not beavers. We've had muskrats in it this year. And they've cut down a lot of like the reed and the cattails. So Kevin told me he had a boat. Now this boat I've known about, but I kind of forgot because it's been out behind our pole barn. It's just a little rowboat. But we haven't done anything with it for 13 years. He told me he was going to take Charlotte out on that pond because the water's high from all the rain Michigan's had. And he was going to take Charlotte out and take her out on that pond. And they were going to see how deep it was. I said, no, you're not. You're not taking my baby out on that old boat. Have her drowned in the pond. He's like, we're not going to drown in the pond. It's probably only like 4 feet deep. And he was right. It was only 4 feet deep at its deepest. And they went out on the rowboat yesterday. It's not that big of a pond, but he says, I've lived here. He's lived here since he was, let's just say, over 20 years. He's never been out on that pond in a boat. And they did that yesterday. It was just funny, and it came to mind. So food, you will notice I try very hard to keep it very simple. Yesterday's breakfast, eggs, and some sauteed vegetables. That's it. Well, and then of course on the side I don't know if I had strawberries or I think I had an English muffin, but I try very hard to keep things kind of simple, kind of pure. And I season them and stuff, but just your basic ingredients. I like to buy the same things at the store. I don't like to look for exotic ingredients. I'm not very adventurous when it comes to food. So if you're here for that kind of like food blogger inspiration, you ain't gonna get it from me. You know what you're gonna see? Shake and bake on plate with a dip. That's about as fancy as it gets. So when I was talking about cooking, it reminded me of something that I have been thinking about. And maybe we'll talk about it. We'll see how this comes out. So there was a situation in my life recently where I got my feathers ruffled. And I've been thinking about what caused it. Have you ever had a situation? Think about what the situation was and why it happened. I call it thinking about the why behind the what. So it's what you do and the why behind why you do it. So recently I had a situation where I got my feathers ruffled. And so it made me think about why. And I realized it was because the situation, which was criticism, caused me, here's our creek. The criticism caused me to bring my insecurities to the surface. So something is going on, a decision I made recently has caused me to question myself. Not in a bad way, but just in a, like, is this the right decision way? And I've really thought about this decision, and I've prayed about the decision, and I've made the decision, and I received some criticism for the decision, which we talked about, and I'm not going to beat that dead horse. But what I want to talk about is my thought process on why I allowed it to upset me so much, because it was one critical remark and I should have just let it roll off my shoulders. But what happened was that remark brought insecurities to the surface. I'm not good enough, and maybe this is the wrong decision, and nobody likes me, and everybody else does it better than me, and she's right, and is this a selfish decision, and all these different things, all these insecurities. By one criticism of my choice, it made me question all the positive reinforcement that I was given regarding the decision. So I was thinking about it. What two things in life make us the most insecure? And it's criticism, because criticism may identify areas in our personality that we are already internally struggling with, or questions about ourselves that we're already internally struggling with. Some criticism is completely off base and based on ignorance, but some criticism comes from a place of love and personal development and emotional maturity, that sort of thing. But those things can cause our insecurities to rise to the surface, and then we get to decide how we behave from there. And so I threw my reasoning skills out the window and allowed one opinion to make me think that was probably everybody's opinion, and I shouldn't do that. So the other thing that causes your insecurities to come to the surface is comparison. Gosh, the sunrise is not like breathtaking, but I have to tell you, the atmosphere out here, this like misty, foggy. Okay, now hello. Is that not like one of the prettiest shots? I was taking a picture of Central Michigan you've ever seen. Now, I kind of thought my glasses were foggy, but it's not. It's just fog out here. So anyway, so comparison to others, what other people are doing. Yeah, that. Have you heard that phrase, comparison is a thief of joy? Something like that. I might not be quoting it correctly, but it takes away your joy and your happiness in the moment and your ability to appreciate what you've done. Sometimes comparison can motivate you, but many times as imperfect people, we will allow comparison to bring our insecurities to the surface. Yep, we will. And so I've done that a lot lately too, as far as choices I've made. Well, I won't do it as good as her. Maybe it won't feel as organized. What if people this? What if people that? So it's been hard. Some of you may think, oh, Tamara, you come on here. And there's geese flying overhead. Okay. I mean, like, seriously, could it get any more beautiful out here? Thank you for sharing this morning with me. So those are just my thoughts. Again, like, hello, does anybody love old barns? Well, let me get out of the shot. Oh, the fog just adds like this, like, I don't even know. Anyway, so that's what I was thinking. And then how do we overcome that? How do we overcome allowing criticism and critique? No, critique, that's the same word. And comparison. How do we stop those things? Or how do we grow from bringing our insecurities to the surface? How do we grow, and how do we how do we talk ourselves out of those moments? I think they're a time for personal growth. I really do. And stretching our emotional maturity. But I'm still working on that. So I don't have those things figured out. I don't. So anyway, those are just the things I'm talking about. And food, food brings my insecurities to the surface in that I don't feel confident or competent to do it. And sometimes it takes courage. We talked about that in my trail talk. The things, what is this? About self-doubt. The one about self-doubt. I believe. I think that's what it is. It's so gorgeous here today. I wish you all could come walk with me. Okay, so those were the ramblings on my mind, the things I wanted to talk about when I started this talk, not knowing what I was going to say. So, there you are. Well, that came out. So I don't know if that makes any sense. But those are things I've been talking about, and those are things I'm working through. I've got to relax my arm. I've been holding it up like this, filming myself. That's how I get these guns. I just hold my arms up like that when I walk and talk. Okay, so it's Friday. I think I'm going to attend a WW workshop this morning. I've had a habit of attending one out of Lansing Frandor group on Friday mornings with Vicky and BJ. I met them at a WW meetup last spring, and they are vivacious and spunky and and so they're fun group. So I'm trying to find a group and like repeatedly be there, because otherwise no one gets to know you and you're always a stranger. So the other thing I was thinking is, I don't know how long we're going to be doing this as far as virtual workshops. And I want someone, well, I know you guys are, but I can't reach goal with you guys through YouTube. I mean, I can, and we'll share it when it happens. I'm not there yet because I still got goals. I haven't got goal. But anyway, I'm going to get it. So I have to go to a workshop to do it. I think this whole time is kind of strange. And I feel like if I keep bopping around to workshops, there will be nobody there who knows my struggles, knows my journey, to cheer for me at the finish line. Which I don't even need that, but I was just thinking that, oh, brother, the waterworks. I'm on my cycle. Like when I was really, really venti 2 days ago, and you guys watched that and gave me that just grace to just vent, and then gave me so many kind compliments that I have bawled my eyes out because of that outpouring of love and support that you guys have given me with the direction that I'm trying to take this whole avenue of my life. Anyway, I've been a mess emotionally, kind of behind the scenes. I mean, you guys know I cried in my walk yesterday about the bicycle. So anyway, but I'm like, when I was going to a workshop here locally, I was thinking, these people don't know me. They don't know me. And I don't know if they even care if I get to goal. So that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. Because right now I'm done. I'm done. This video is getting long. If you're walking with me, we've already done a mile, just so you know. And so we're going to wrap it up. In fact, I don't even know if there's sound in this video. I could have really just been talking to myself for 25 minutes. So, but I'm going to be done. I'm going to take a deep breath today. I'm going to remember today that I am capable, I am confident, and I am courageous. And you are too. You know what else you need to remember? You're right. You've got goals. Yep. Go get them. Bye, guys.